Hey guys, welcome to the Root Hack podcast. I'm your host Rushain, and in today's episode, we are going to be exploring the inspiring story of a young man named Jason and the valuable lessons we can learn from his journey. Jason was able to overcome numerous obstacles and achieve his dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Jason was always a dreamer. As a kid, he would spend hours imagining all the amazing things he could do and be in the future. He would sketch out his ideas in a notebook, create elaborate plans, and set ambitious goals for himself. One particular instance that stands out in Jason's mind was when he was in his early 20s. He had graduated from college and was determined to start his own business. He had a clear vision of what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it. Jason's business idea was to create a line of high quality, ethically sourced clothing that was both stylish and affordable. He had a passion for fashion and was confident that he could make his mark in the industry. However, as he started researching and reaching out to suppliers, he realized how competitive the market was. It was difficult to find suppliers who met his ethical standards and still kept the cost low enough to make a profit. He was faced with the challenge of finding the right balance between quality and affordability. He struggled to secure the necessary funding to his venture. Banks and investors were hesitant to invest in someone so young and inexperienced. To make matters worse, he didn't have any prior experience in the fashion industry. And he was competing against well-established brands as well. He began to doubt himself and his ability to succeed. One day, Jason stumbled upon a quote that changed everything for him. It read, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." It struck a chord with him and made him realize that the key to achieving his dreams was not in never falling, but in learning to overcome obstacles and keep pushing forward. Finally, after months of rejection, he secured the funding he needed. Despite securing the funding he needed, Jason soon discovered that the journey was far from over. The reality of running a business was much more difficult than he had anticipated. He had to navigate the intricacies of the market, manage his employees, and deal with unforeseen obstacles that threatened to derail his business. For example, when he tried to market his product, he discovered that his target audience was not as interested in it as he had initially thought. He had to pivot his strategy and find ways to appeal to a wide audience. This involved conducting extensive market research, adjusting his branding, and even redesigning his product. Managing his employees also proved to be a challenge. Jason found it difficult to balance his role as a boss with his desire to be a friend and a mentor to his team. He had to learn how to delegate tasks effectively and provide constructive feedback when necessary. There were times when unexpected obstacles threatened to derail his business. For instance, when one of his suppliers suddenly went bankrupt, he had to find a new supplier quickly to avoid delays in production. He also had to deal with legal issues that arose when a competitor claimed that he was infringing on their patents. He began to approach his challenges differently. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, he saw them as opportunities to learn, grow, and become better. He developed a growth mindset and embraced the idea that failure was just a temporary setback, not a permanent defeat. He was determined to see his vision through and turn his dream into a reality. He learned from his mistakes, adjusted his strategies, and persevered through the tough times. Despite all these challenges, Jason refused to give up. As Jason's business grew, he faced new challenges and obstacles, but he was able to overcome them with persistence and hard work. He learned to adapt to the constantly changing market, stay ahead of the competition, and build a strong team that shared his vision and passion. Eventually, his business became a success and he achieved his goal of becoming a successful entrepreneur. With this success, Jason became an inspiration to others who also had big dreams but felt discouraged by the obstacles they faced. He began to share his story and his advice, encouraging others to persevere and never give up on their goals. Through his journey, Jason learned that achieving your dreams is not easy, but it is possible if you are willing to work hard, stay focused, and never give up. His story is a testament to the power of perseverance and determination, and serves as a reminder that anything is possible if you believe in yourself and your abilities. Alright, so from Jason's success story, there are several key takeaways that we can apply to our own lives. Number 1, believe in yourself. Jason had a clear vision of what he wanted to achieve and never gave up, even when facing rejection and setbacks. Believing in yourself and your abilities is crucial when pursuing your dreams. Number 2, perseverance is key. Jason's journey to success was not an easy one, but he never gave up. He kept pushing through rejection, obstacles, and setbacks, and eventually achieved his goal. Perseverance is essential when facing challenges and overcoming obstacles. Number 3, surround yourself with support. Jason had a network of friends, family, and mentors who supported him and encouraged him to keep going. Having a support system can make all the difference when facing challenges and pursuing your dreams. Number 4, and the last one, learn from failures. Jason experienced many failures on his journey to success, but he used them as learning opportunities. Instead of giving up, he took what he learned from his failures and used it to improve and grow. So, if we take these takeaways and apply them to our own lives, we can totally crush those obstacles and achieve our own personal dreams. I really hope that you are inspired by Jason's journey. Now, let's dive into some practical strategies that can help us overcome the obstacles that stand in the way of our goals. It's easy to get inspired by other people's success stories, but it's another thing to understand how to apply those principles to our own lives. It can get really hard sometimes. When Jason was starting his business, he had a clear vision of what he wanted to achieve, but he quickly realized that it was easier said than done. He faced numerous challenges and obstacles that made the task seem impossible. But instead of giving up, he decided to break his goal down into smaller steps. He created a detailed plan that outlined specific tasks and objectives that he needed to achieve in order to move forward. This included things like market research, developing a brand new product and services that comes along with it, creating a marketing strategy, and securing funding. By breaking down his goal into smaller steps, Jason was able to focus on one task at a time, which made the overall goal seem more achievable. He could track his progress, which gave him a sense of accomplishment and motivation to keep moving forward. This strategy of breaking down goals into smaller, more manageable steps can be applied to any area of your life where you're facing a daunting challenge. Whether it is starting a new career, losing weight, or learning a new skill, by breaking it down into smaller steps, you can stay focused, motivated, and make progress towards your goal. Another lesson we can learn from Jason's story that highlights the importance of seeking support from others is his experience when he was starting his business. Despite having a clear vision of what he wanted to do, Jason faced multiple rejections when approached investors for funding. This rejection had a significant impact on his morale and made him doubt his abilities. However, he didn't give up for shit. Instead, he sought out the guidance and support of a mentor who had experience in the same industry. The mentor provided him with invaluable advice on how to pitch his idea effectively, identify the right investors, and manage his finances. With this support, Jason was able to secure the funding he needed to launch his business successfully. This example illustrates the power of seeking support from others when faced with a daunting challenge. It shows that having someone to offer guidance and support can help you gain a fresh perspective, learn from their experience, and ultimately overcome. Whether it's seeking advice from a mentor, venting to a friend, or joining a support group, having a support system can make all the difference. Sometimes all it takes is a fresh perspective or a listening ear to help you overcome a difficult obstacle. So don't be afraid to ask for help or advice when you need it, and don't hesitate to offer your own support to others in need. And last, but certainly not least, self-care is crucial when you're facing challenges. A perfect example from Jason's story that highlights the importance of self-care is when he was struggling to secure funding for his business. He was constantly working long hours, stressing over the rejection from investors, and neglecting his physical and mental health. He was not eating well, barely sleeping, and didn't have time for hobbies or spending time with his loved ones. But then he realized that he couldn't keep up that pace indefinitely, and he needed to take care of himself if he wanted to achieve his goals. So, he started to make small changes in his routine, like going for a walk during his lunch break or setting aside time for meditation before bed. He also made an effort to eat healthier and spend more time with his family and friends. As a result, Jason felt more energized, focused, and motivated to keep going despite the obstacles he faced. Taking care of his well-being gave him the strength to persevere. And eventually he was able to secure the funding he needed and grow his business into a success. This experience taught him the importance of self-care, and he has continued to prioritize it in his life, even after achieving his goals. You guys must take notes on this one especially, because it's really important. And by applying these practical strategies to our own lives, we can overcome obstacles and achieve our dreams. It won't always be easy, and there will be setbacks along the way, but with perseverance, support, and self-care, we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. And simply, that's how it works. Now, let's talk about something that is often overlooked but incredibly important, which is the power of the mindset. It's easy to get caught up in the practical strategies and action steps, but if we don't have the right mindset, we may find ourselves stuck and unable to make progress. Think of mindset as the lens which we see the world. If we have a positive and growth-oriented mindset, we are more likely to see challenges and opportunities for growth and development. We are more likely to persevere through difficult times and come out on the other side stronger and wiser. On the other hand, if we have a fixed mindset, we are more likely to see a failure as a reflection of our abilities and potential. We may give up easily and believe that our circumstances are outside of our control. When Jason was facing rejection after rejection in his quest for funding, it would have been easy for him to give up and believe that his idea was not good enough. But instead, he chose to see those rejections as learning opportunities. He used each rejection to refine his pitch and approach, and ultimately, he was able to secure the funding he needed. Another way that mindset played a crucial role in Jason's success was in his approach to challenges as an entrepreneur. As I mentioned earlier, running a business is fucking difficult and it's far from easy. But rather than seeing each obstacle as a roadblock, Jason chose to see them as opportunities for growth and problem solving. He approached each challenge with a growth mindset, and this allowed him to find creative solutions and ultimately build a successful business. So, how can we cultivate a positive and growth oriented mindset? Well, it starts with awareness. We need to be aware of our thoughts and beliefs and how they may be holding us back. We can also work on developing a growth mindset by reframing our failures as opportunities for growth and by focusing on the process of learning and improvement rather than just the end result. By cultivating a positive and growth oriented mindset, we can unlock our full potential and achieve our goals with greater ease and satisfaction. And that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed learning about Jason's success story and the practical strategies you can apply to overcome obstacles and achieve your personal goals. Just remember, guys, success is not just about talent or luck. It's about mindset, hard work, and perseverance. It doesn't matter whether you're starting a business, pursuing a passion project, or simply trying to improve yourself. The key is to stay positive. Break down your goals into manageable steps. Seek support from others and prioritize your physical and mental well-being. I encourage you to take action on the strategies we have discussed today and start making progress towards your own goals. And let me know how it goes. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me on my socials. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Peace.